This episode is brought to you by Google Gemini. With the Gemini app, you can talk live and have a real-time conversation with an AI assistant. It's great for all kinds of things, like if you want to practice for an upcoming interview, ask for advice on things to do in a new city, or brainstorm creative ideas. And by the way, this script was actually read by Gemini. Download the Gemini app for iOS and Android today. Must be 18 plus to use Gemini Live.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
You're listening to Modified Role, part of the Potteration Network.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Well, it's that time of year again, guys. And as with previous years on the run-up to Christmas, we have a very special present for you all. As some of you may be aware, Dragonmeet was held at the end of November there, and we were given the opportunity to record a live show again. I say we, it was just myself in attendance due to conflicting schedules, but we had a fantastic cast of players from different shows that we absolutely love. Featuring special guest Jason Statham, as portrayed by Richard of the D20 Future Show, Shamini of RP Geeks, Chloe of Deck of Many Aces, and Dan of Tales on Tap, and soon to be Dice by the Sword. A very important note, Shamini, God bless her, had arranged for the lovely Emily Bates of RP Geeks to look after her little baby while she was doing the live show. Unfortunately, little baby had other plans and did not want to be separated from their mum. So, you are on occasion going to hear us referring to things or talking about things that probably don't make a lot of sense. You will, of course, hear the sounds of a small child. This isn't anything to be concerned about. There was just a child on stage with us. It did make for some very funny moments, and we're so glad that Shamini was able to make it with little one in tow. So, I also want to give a very special shout out to our understudy. We actually weren't 100% sure if Richard was going to make it to the convention this year. So Sam from Science and Sorcery stepped up as his understudy, so we just want to give him a massive shout out. There will definitely be a seat at the table next year if they let us do this again. Thank you again to our wonderful cast. Thank you to Fiona of What Am I Rolling and the DM's Book Club for running the Podcastzone and setting this up so that we could do another live show, and to Dragonmeet for hosting us again this year. Now let's get into this year's Christmas story with D&D the Panto 3. It's behind you! Enjoy.
So you head into the toast of the town, you get some of your favourite pastries, some coffees or teas, or whatever you guys would like. Unfortunately, your moment of relaxation is shattered when all of the bakers from the back of the bakery come rushing out screaming about the bread coming to life.
Oh my!
You hear roaring and smashing from the back of the bakery. What would you like to do?
I pull out my sword!
It's here on the clock!
Prince Randolph, the Unchallenged will save you! And rush into the back of the bakery.
You rush into the back of the bakery and you see, smashing the place up, is what can only be described as a bread golem.
Yes.
Excellent.
Can I get everyone once again to give me a perception check before anything else happens?
This time I'm going to try and get an advantage. Oh, right in the corner in the back with the lovely horns.
No rats.
Yes!
Oh, that was good.
It didn't help, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Not one.
No, God.
And I have a +0.
18 from me.
Thank God.
Would a natural 20 help?
Yes! The two of you step in, and you both spot several rats running out of the back of the bakery.
Rats friends!
With a natural 20, you see one of them is holding a book in its mouth. And with the nat 20, you're able to read the title, which is The Manual of Bread Golems.
Excellent.
Suspicious.
I can't help but feel that there is some link between the evidence I've just gathered and this bread golem. It it'll come to me.
We'll get there in the end. So as you're thinking that, you're watching the rats, you hear a boom, boom, as the creature steps up behind you. If only somebody here could warn him!
It's gone!
What? Sorry, what is? Where is it? I turn around.
You see the bread golem rushing towards you, the light of a baker's fire in its eyes. What would you guys like to do?
Prince Randolph,
Yes, my dear.
you got this bread golem, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to
The bread
chase the
golem
rats.
is 12 feet tall.
I'm going to chase the
Prince
rats.
Randolph the Unchallenged, and there is no match for me anywhere. I'd appreciate
I believe in you. I believe in you.
Oh, good. That makes one of us.
Usually I'd back you up, but this thing's 12 foot tall. Are you sure you've got this?
The confidence.
Don't leave me now.
Grabbing onto your arm. Stay here. Well, we resolve this thing first. So,
All right.
Mr. Statham or Buttons, would you please give me an athletics check to see if you can catch the rats?
Yeah, I'm all right at that. 16.
16, you manage to burst out of the back of the bakery door and you see this little group of rats begin diving into a sewer grate.
Yep.
But the one with the book, forgetting it has its book in its mouth, jumps up in the air and goes and hits the top of the grate. Don't go, aw, they're the villains. So you're able to rush over, and what would you like to do when you get close to the rat?
Punch the rat.
Give me an attack roll.
So first one is a 17.
17, it's a rat, it hits.
And the second one's a 14.
Both hits.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to need the second one.
So that's 10 plus 15 points of damage.
Cool. Does anyone here want to guess what the average HP of a rat is? You guys are way overestimating this. It's 1. The rat explodes. You're now left with a manual of bread golems.
Okay. I would like to, using my skills as a Commonwealth international team diver,
Yep.
dive after the other rats.
Into a sewer grate, which I didn't describe this before, is that size.
Yeah, I'm going to move the grate first.
Cool. You lift the grate up. Can I get an athletics check for your dive?
Now, because
It doesn't matter what you rolled. You take 6 damage as you headbutt the sewer grate.
I got 14. 6 points of damage.
It doesn't matter what you rolled. You're trying to dive into a hole that size.
Now, is this technically a missile? Because it's coming at me.
But yeah, the problem
What do we
here.
think, boys and girls? Is it?
That's my job. All right, boys and girls. Is the Earth a missile? What did you roll?
So I rolled a 4.
So you still take 2 damage.
So I still take 2 damage. Yeah. Yeah.
Jason, realizing way too late, even though you lifted the grate up yourself, that this wall is way too small, you go to put a hand down and deflect the Earth.
Yep.
Not quite strong enough to move the Earth. You still roll and hit the ground quite painfully.
Ow.
Now, back in the bakery. We're not going to bother with initiative. We're just going to go with the similar one to last time because it saves us having to waste time. Pip, what would you like to do?
Seeing this huge bread golem come ever closer to me and the pauper and my friends and what have you, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern to try and ensure that Yes. Yes.
I believe that's a wisdom save?
It is, of 16, please.
Cool. Now, weirdly, bread golems, not particularly wise. It feels.
Some of these animals' companions down there.
Aha, familiar. So I believe with Hypnotic Pattern, he is just stunned.
He just can't move. He's
he's
hypnotized, can't move.
This
can't act,
bread
can't do
golem
anything.
roaring towards you, just sort of. I guess.
Should I
cool.
still stab it?
Yeah. Slice away.
So now it would be Button's turn. This is, we'll say this is when you punch the rats. Yep. It's the golem's turn. It is stunned. Princess, what would you like to do? Also, for very briefly outside, you would have heard Jason Statham running down the road and then heard a...
How long is it stunned for?
good question.
A minute.
A minute?
Yeah, it's ages.
I would like to. It's a minute.
Yes.
Jason Statham knows his D&D, so trust him. I would like to build a small fire around where the stunned bread golem is standing and cook it.
Cool. Before you do that, give me an insight check.
Oh no, it's already cooked. 16 plus
With
or
the 16,
minus.
yeah, you get the impression that if you try to set a fire, yes, it would eventually burn it to a crisp, but you suspect what you're probably going to end up doing is hardening it and making it more difficult to damage. But what is good against bread? Water! The obvious answer.
You say that like this comes up all the
No,
time.
I knew that was going to be me and me only.
Water!
Or pigeons!
Oh my gosh.
Princess, would you like to summon the pigeons?
Summon the pigeons. 100%.
Give me an animal handling check.
I can't do that. Yes, come. 17.
What does it look like as you summon a horde of pigeons into the bakery? The princess does a lovely little cooing tweet, and what you hear is as hundreds of pigeons flock into the bakery. The golem has a brief moment of realization as it comes to its senses, as it is flocked by hundreds of pigeons and torn to pieces. The golem is dead. A bunch of very fast pigeons waddle out of the back bakery, now too heavy to fly.
At this point, Jason comes back, holding the tome of the manual of bread golems.
It was him all along.
You found me! You leave poor little Buttons alone. He's never harmed a fly in his life.
Then explain that book.
I've just seen him punch the earth with his face.
Okay, no one saw that. That was an embarrassing aside. One of the rats had this book. I'm beginning to think that the plot may be associated with this.
Whatever gave you that impression?
I will hand it to the person that I seem to think has the best handle on what's going on. And
I put my hand
the
down.
book.
It is a lot of very complex, arcane information in here. It's literally, as the title says, a manual on how to make bread golems. There is quite a lot of magic involved and also quite a lot of highly skilled baking. You do not think you'd be able to replicate this without several months of study.
Okay, this is a bit confusing.
It does what it says on the tin. It makes bread golems. What were you expecting?
Well, I was sort of explaining it. I was hoping it would explain it in more straightforward terms that a handsome Hollywood actor would be able to understand.
Tell you what, give me an intelligence check.
All right. Would that be Arcana or just straight up
We'll
intelligence?
say Arcana for this one. Why not?
Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm -1 for either of them. But that is 16.
Cool. You're able to work out that you will need several months to work out how to use this.
I'm beginning to suspect the plot does not rely on me understanding this.
Nope.
Well, which way did the rat go that you stole it from?
Oh, to whatever the rat afterlife is. Very rapidly.
Well, did it have friends?
I didn't really interview it. I punched it to death.
Yes, there were
Twice.
more rats
So-
that went into the sewer.
So you have obtained this book and given us no leads whatsoever.
I feel like the book is a lead and you're being unnecessarily sarky, but yes, other than... Well, there were more rats. They dived through a grate. Turns out it was smaller than a Jason.
And previous rats and a wand, a magic wand.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think magic and rats are going together in some way.
Poor person. Here.
That's me. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, that's me.
You seem particularly au fait with the vermin of the world.
I'm very au fait.
Right. Oh, what he thinks I'm au fait? These rats.
I'm beginning to think he thinks I'm the vermin of the world. And I'm taking it a bit personally, if I'm honest.
Do you know anything about these rats? Where might they have gone?
Well, I could ask some of my, maybe not ratty friends, because that didn't work last time. Maybe I'll ask the birds if they could keep an eye out For a place where there are lots of rats.
Oh, jolly.
There are still like an army of pigeons waddling away.
Lovely.
All of them about this big.
This is the most...
So are you casting something to speak with animals?
Yes, speak with animals again.
Suddenly all you can hear is oh! As all of the pigeons are in physical pain. It's alright, these ones aren't the villains, you can feel sorry for them. So a bunch of pigeons are not around
Is
you.
anyone up for some aerial recon or?
I couldn't possibly fly.
Okay.
What is it you're looking for?
A place with lots of rats.
I mean, they're usually in the sewers.
I don't want to go there.
Well,
I'm not really a poor
I
person.
can't do much to help with that.
Sorry, what was that? What did you say?
No, all you guys are hearing is.
You know, I don't speak pigeon. I don't know about you.
We gotta go in the sewers, a place where I spend much time being poor.
Is that what poor people get up to?
Yes!
That's why you're so filthy all the time.
Absolutely.
As a prince, you absolutely believe this. Pip, there's something suspicious here.
It isn't possibly the fact that the pauper's voice has changed multiple times.
Or that Buttons has on several occasions referred to them as the princess.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
Okay, that is a Shakespearean theatrical device. And aside, I didn't do that in the hearing of these two idiots.
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay, whose side are you on?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's never yours.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
You just better hope you don't have to make any death saving throws, because these guys are out for blood every time.
It's alright, you cannot kill off Statham in a film.
Well,
Now you're tempting me. So you have a lead, which is the sewers. What would you guys like to? You would also know, just as general, like you guys would know, there are like access points where workers will go into the sewers. So it's not a case of like you have to try and fit down a tiny grate, like some people tried.
Yeah, only an idiot team would ever try and fit down that grate. Bigger
Yes.
grate over here. And
Insight checks.
do we need to really?
Oh no, I believe every single word.
The answer is probably yes, because I also got a 7.
Alright, my deception was 4, so...
You guys notice a grate shape. Well, to be fair, you did take the grate out of the way, but you do notice like a circular mark on his shoulder where he looks like he's maybe hit something.
I'll take your word for it.
Best 2.
Yes.
Right, this way then.
Pip, you don't happen to have any kind of...
Doodling it now.
No. This is the most unclean day of my life. You don't have any magic to keep me clean, do you? It's not something I
This
can
is where
do.
Dan tries to remember what spells he has.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Ah, I knew I brought you along for a reason.
Gust.
You don't look that bad, and I will bardic inspiration. It's all in your head. It's not.
Okay, right. Yes?
There's an almost physical smell at this point.
If anything, you're going to make the sewer smell worse.
As we enter the sewers, I'm like, was that a corpse?
Starting to get the feeling that Pip's a little bitter, huh?
You guys all enter the sewers, having been directed there by the pigeons.
Yep.
You realise it is quite labyrinthine here, quite difficult to circumnavigate, so I'm going to need everyone to make a survival check.
Absolutely.
Not yet.
I would like advantage on this.
I genuinely almost forgot about this mechanic.
Yeah. I would. Advantage on this, looking at my stats. Lady at the back there in the blue.
Oh, you guys are firing through these. Oh, God! Rat attack!
They're out for blood.
Thank you.
That's not too bad.
So, anyone get above a 15?
I got a 15.
15, cool.
Yes, and then I rolled my other dice and no.
Oh, good.
I didn't.
The two of you are maybe up at the front together. Maybe the princess, maybe you want to get to know the prince a little bit more. Prince fully preoccupied with how they smell. You do notice as you're following it that there are an inordinate number of rat tracks going in a very specific path.
Right, I don't know about anyone else, but I think it's this way.
No, please. Please. I and all my infinite wisdom have deduced that the direction is indeed this way.
Alright.
Observe the tracks of the friends, was it? The rats. Leading in the same direction.
All right, lead on then.
Oh, well, that was easy.
As we walk,
I know when we're running out of time in this show.
I shall strike up a conversation with this handsome prince. So, you are here to get married, are you?
Yes, my bride-to-be is the most beautiful princess in all the land.
That you have never seen.
Nope. I've seen a portrait once.
You had a portrait sent over with the note, you up?
What is so great about marriage, though? Didn't you ever consider just, maybe hanging out and being friends with someone?
Right, she's already got a friend.
Don't.
I do indeed have a friend.
Best.
Oh,
No,
right.
well, you see, I am a prince,
Right.
which means
Yeah.
I must marry a princess.
I suppose so. Well,
Yes,
I
that's how it works.
hope you find a nice one then.
Oh, I have. Although she's currently missing, so technically I haven't. But I'm sure I will find her soon.
This conversation prattles on, and you guys eventually realise that the tunnel changes. This has been obviously worked stone that the city has put in place. They have proper cobblestone floor and stuff like that. But the floor begins to change. At one point you realise you step over a large grate and you can hear running water underneath your feet. The grate is maybe only 10 feet long, fills the width of the tunnel you're in. But then you realise that there has been some modifications made here. About 10 feet in front of where this grate is in the floor, the tunnel turns to the left, and you notice on the point where it turns, there are several spikes that have been jammed into the wall, but pointing up the tunnel. So as you're coming towards them, you're actually looking at the side of the spikes. As you check further in, the tunnel you find turns again and zigzags 2 or 3 times, and each time spikes are pointing in the direction you're walking.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I don't see why. The spikes are telling us which way to go.
They're more like arrows, just very dangerous arrows.
Aren't spikes usually directed towards the danger?
Well,
That's you told.
just checking my intelligence score. I'm like, yes.
Well, once you get to the end of this zigzagging tunnel, you see a large, round door. What we would consider a submarine door with a large, circular handle in the middle. And you spot in the last set of spikes a skeleton. What would you guys like to do?
I clutch Pip's arm and I'm like, Pip, there's a dead person here.
I'm alright. I'm already turning the handle of the door. You can't kill the Stave. It's not possible.
Is anyone else doing anything while he does that? Just out of curiosity?
Hyperventilating.
Backing up from the spikes very slowly.
Princess?
Stand to the side slightly.
Perfect.
Go button! Go
Annoyingly, Buttons, you have done the one way of actually getting through this trap successfully. As Buttons spins the handle of the door, it opens, and what you see in front of you is a shimmering field of magic, beyond which is a wall of water. If anyone had inspected the skeleton, they would have found a satchel with 3 spell scroll cases, 2 of which are empty, one of which is empty, 2 of which contain spells of Dispel Magic. If anyone had stopped to look at the door and inspect it, they would have noticed magic on the door. And most players, being paranoid, would have used the Dispel Magic, which is actually a permeable barrier that allows you to walk through but keeps the water in. This is the only time somebody has successfully done this trap.
I walk through the water.
You walk through the permeable barrier, find yourself floating in water, and you realise there's a little ledge about 10 feet up that you can swim up to, and there's a door at the far end.
Alright, I swim up to the door.
Cool. Are the rest of you going to follow after you see this happen?
Do you think he's okay?
I wonder if he needs a friend. And as I just get to the water.
No, I've already got one.
That's fine.
I will take the princess's hand and be like, follow me.
Alright! Alright.
Bit late. Sorry, we've had an accident.
Sorry.
So you guys dive into the water, swim up onto the ledge, and you see like an old rickety wooden door, much different to the large metal door that was on the other side of the tunnel. Just check all the lids are on our waters. But yeah, you see an old rickety wooden door.
Okay.
Are we opening this one as well, or...?
It worked
It worked
very
very
well last time.
I open the door.
You open the door. Inside is what is quite clearly some sort of abode. A horrible one, though. Instead of a bed, it has what looks to almost be like a humanoid-sized like nest full of filth and scraps and rubbish. There is a really rough table and chair. And as you step in, you see on the table is an envelope.
Is this your house?
It is very similar. It is very similar.
Is
Yes.
that letter addressed to you?
Would anyone like to approach the letter?
Yes.
Then you can have this.
I get props. It says my evil plan.
I didn't realise you had an evil plan.
Neither. I wonder what it is.
Yeah, I wonder what's in it.
It's got a real look.
If you really have an evil plan, I will have to kill you.
To the listeners at home, I've just handed Chamonix a letter with a wax seal.
Everything's so cute. It's so. Oh, look how gorgeous this is. I love it. Right, my evil plan is kidnap the. It says princess, but princess is crossed out.
What?
And then it says king. Oh no! From Lord King Rat, and there's a little paw print signature. It's very, very cute.
That is adorable.
That is kind of cute, yeah.
It's pretty,
Yeah.
This is pretty
I reckon if you held that up, the audience would all go, ah. Yeah,
I'm quite
thought so.
happy with the rat footprints. Yeah, so you find Lord what the name did I
Lord
give?
King
Lord
Rat.
King Rat. I completely forgot, I'm not going to lie. Lord King Rat's evil plans. What would you like to do?
If Lord King Rat is kidnapping the king, then we've been on a distraction this whole time. What if the princess is in on it?
Hold on, so the princess is missing and now the king's missing. I think we just book it out of this town. This is not somewhere I think we should be living.
Now, to be fair, all we know is that Lord King Rat intends to kidnap the princess/king. We don't actually know it's happened.
Then we must go back to the palace and protect the king.
We must.
Sure.
I have to tell you who I really am.
No!
What? I am Princess Poinsettia. What? We were trying to lead you on a merry chase in the hope that you'd run away, but we did not realise that we were playing right into Lord King Rat's hands.
You have betrayed us.
I mean, I do feel like if we'd stuck it out maybe one more minute, they were going to leave.
That's it, call the marriage off!
It almost worked, princess.
You probably should call the marriage off, though. Because I have betrayed you, but first, can we please go and rescue my father?
Should they call off the wedding, boys and girls? Very divided.
Very mixed response.
Nobody is quite sure.
I think we save the king and then we'll deal with the wedding afterwards.
Right, all right.
That makes sense, yeah.
We rush back to the palace post-haste.
You know that feeling when you're at Ross and you find the best gifts for way less? Like brand name sweaters, the coolest kids' toys, and plush dog beds? Get that feeling with every gift and save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices. At Ross, yes, for less.
You rush out of the sewers, heading straight to the palace. Unfortunately, as you're getting close, you again hear the sounds of screaming, also accompanied by the sounds of extremely strong winds. You see things being thrown up over the building. Something is ripping things up and throwing them into the air. And as you turn a corner, you find yourself in a large square in the kingdom, city, whatever, with a large fountain in the middle, which is currently being thrown up into the air. The water being pulled from the fountain, thrown up by a large twister that has appeared in the centre. And you can all see quite clearly, mad, laughing, is a genie, sort of stood conjuring this wind to pull the water out of the fountain. People running around in chaos. Can I get everyone to give me a perception check?
Oh dear.
I'm not very good at these.
I'm
Every
gonna
time you
use-
ask me
Yes,
this,
you are, it's been
I'm going to
great.
try and get advantage.
Use my bardic inspiration.
I'll pick anyone from this side of the room. I like the lady at the back in the red.
Advantage!
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was good. Thank you very much.
This is where we're going to find out everyone else has already beaten it anyway.
20.
Dirty 20, very good.
15.
15.
19.
10.
So everyone but the Statham spots, first of all, several rats running away into the corner of the courtyard, carrying what looks to be another wand in one of their mouths, rushing away. You also notice with a dirty 20 that there is something clouding the genie's eyes. He isn't acting normally. And also, those of you who scored 19 in the 20, you spot there are several what appear to be other princes of varying kinds cowering behind a wall.
I immediately take my rapier out.
You guess that these are probably other suitors who have come to try and marry the princess.
There are no other suitors, I don't know what you're talking about.
But you do notice that one of them is like frantically rubbing at a lamp.
A bit late now, mate.
Look, I don't want to alarm you. You don't seem to be the only prince on the block, so you're going to have to...
What?
I know. So
this conversation is going on while surrounded by screams, just for the record.
So this is your moment to shine.
Pip, hold that thought. I cast Lesser Restoration on the genie.
God damn.
Which I don't know if it's gonna work because I think Greater Restoration is maybe the one we need, which I don't have. But I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't fully stat out the charm mechanic here, so it may just work. Let's see.
The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
I'm gonna say this is sort of a charmed condition sort of thing going on. So I'm gonna allow you to make an Arcana roll to see if your spell will have an effect.
I would like advantage. I'm not very good at this. What about you and the flat cap?
Oh, you were very happy with that. You were very happy with that.
Okay, that's still 11.
Okay, unfortunately, with an 11, I'll say it's enough to the magic isn't corrected, it's not gone, but there is a second where the genie is stunned as your magic tries to fight with the charmed effect. So it isn't going to do the next thing I had planned yet.
I punched the gin.
I will say the gin is 15 feet in the air.
Alright, I jump in the air and punch the gin.
Standing 15-foot leap. Can I get an athletics check then?
Buttons, the gin is charmed! I don't know if that will help you.
Athletics, 15.
15. I'm going to say sure, why not?
Alright.
You leap 15 feet into the air from a standing start.
Alright, I'm going to use a key point and use Flurry of Blows.
Stunning. I mean, beautiful.
So that is... Hang on, have I got stunning as well?
That's another thing.
Yeah, so I don't think I've got that one. So, I'm going to use a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes after I've made an attack. So, attack. That is 13.
13 is not enough to hit.
Can I roll with advantage, lady with the rose trousers?
Hiding the rat.
So
evil.
All right.
I love it.
So that's a 10?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
You leap up to punch this genie, realizing it is a creature of the elemental plane of air. As you go to punch it, your hand just passes straight through it.
All right, and then my other 2 punches.
Cool. Let's see what happens.
That one's 23.
That one hits.
Yeah, and that one is 11.
An 11. What does it look like when you punch the genie in the face?
I just take its jaw off. Its jaw.
Okay, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
You did 11 damage to a genie.
No, I haven't rolled the damage yet.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so the 11 was your damage.
No, that was a hit. I've done 9 damage. So I take its chin off.
You jump up, you punch the genie in the face so hard, its chin dissipates, at which point it looks down on you and then the chin reforms
Alright.
out of air.
Seems fair enough.
But again, that's moment of clarity and it says what on earth are you doing?
I am punching you in the
As
face.
you fall back to the ground.
I am punching you in the...
But again, for a split second, that cloudiness reappears in its eyes. What would the rest of you like to do with this brief moment here? You've got the rats, you've got the prince, the other princes, and the genie.
I'm making a beeline to the prince that's rubbing the lamp.
Very enthusiastically.
Yes.
You rush towards him. What do you do when you reach
I
him?
cast heat metal on the lamp.
Most powerful move in the game.
Yeah.
The best part is this guy isn't
There's no save.
No, this guy isn't the cause of this. You cast heat metal, the lamp erupts into fiery heat, and he goes, and drops it. Another one! You'll find out what that means in a minute. The gentleman, he looks around and sees you having cast a spell. He's like, what are you doing?
What? I don't know. What are you doing?
Trying to get the genie back in its bottle!
Oh.
Look, I'm I'm telling you, I'm cut from a special fabric. We need to get him back in that bottle. Another one!
Oh, I'm whole person on him. It just needs to stop. He's very aggressive.
You realise he's also, he's got...
DJ Khaled?
Yeah, I'm not sure any of us get the reference. My name is
Prince Khalid Kababwa. Prince Khalid.
Yeah.
The worst joke I wrote.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, whole person.
Whole person?
Yeah.
He just freezes. I'm not going to make a roll for
Yeah,
it.
just going to grab the lamp, run back and go, found that.
What do you expect me to do with this?
Princely things?
I don't do the last prince any good, did it?
I believe in you. I was just going off again.
Brilliant. Princess, what would you like to do?
I have summoned many animal friends.
Of course.
So far.
Yeah.
The pigeons ate too much bread. The bees are busy.
He ate a lamppost for some reason.
A lamppost for some reason. There's some evil rats here, right?
Yes.
I should like to summon some sweet little pussycats.
Okay.
Fey pussycats, possibly.
Faye? Oh, is this summon
Yes,
Faye?
eight of them of challenge rating quarter or lower. Yes.
I think a cat is probably a quarter or lower. Perfect. Are you just wanting them to kill the rats, or what do you want them to do?
Oh,
So I'm going to be honest, 8 cats against 4 rats is not going to go down well.
yes.
Well, we start
that's
with the
me. The little mouse does not want me. Oh, sorry, baby.
Doesn't want the cat summoned.
Yes, no, that's fair enough. I'd like them to maybe claw at the genie a bit.
Again, the genie is 15 feet in the air.
I'm
just curious.
I'll throw the cats in the air.
All I want to know is, do you want to? I'm assuming you want the cat. Like, do you want to kill the rats? Bring the rats back? Cool.
Do that fancy thing.
They do the thing. They summon the cats. I'm gonna make just a roll. The cats jump on the rats. They now have the rats cornered. You do still see one of them has a wand in its mouth.
Oh, we should take that.
Yeah, there
we
you
should
go.
get that.
There you
yes,
go.
plot relevant.
Yes.
I run towards the plot relevant wand.
You pick up the wand.
I have a wand.
What would you like to do with the wand?
Wave it around.
You attempt to activate the magic in the wand. You see a magic erupts from it, and the genie, eyes unclouded, looks down and is like, I am dreadfully sorry. This does not normally happen, and then just into the lamp.
So do the wishes come the next time we come down, or is this now?
I'd rather not risk it.
Cool, fine. I'll keep the lamp.
Brilliant. The whirlwind summoned by the genie begins to dissipate. You notice that a bunch of street furniture falls to the ground. People are largely uninjured for the most part. But what would you like to do?
Are any of the rats wearing a crown?
No, these just look like regular rats.
I don't think we waste too much time, and we run to the castle.
Oh, my dad! I forgot! Yes, the king! We run to the castle, the king!
Yeah, you're welcome.
You all rush to the castle only to realise... Oh no! It wasn't Jason Statham at all!
Yeah, it is.
For the listeners at home, Chamonix's little one has just pulled the ball cap off of Richard. And now he's Jason Statham again.
Yeah, nobody saw that.
Do you have a secret identity too?
You rush towards the palace only to realise it is swarming with rats.
No!
The steps to the front door covered in swarms of rats. What would you like to do?
I turn to the princess and I go, now you shall see my true form. I couldn't think of anything else.
Turns into a rat.
It's King Rat.
It was me all along. No, I am going to use my Radiant Soul transformation because it then allows me to have flying speed.
Nice.
So my wings appear, I glow very brightly, and I can now fly over the rats and I guess just leave everyone alone.
All of you guys watch as the ASMR erupts into its holy light and then just buggers off.
One of the things that seemed like a good idea at the time, and now I'm like, consequences of my actions.
Can I use Step of the Wind to follow? Just
Absolutely.
like dancing on the rats.
Yeah, just
great.
Doing little flips and spins. You go.
Oi, come back here, you.
How do the other two of you get in?
I'm going to wild shape into a cat.
That happens. Give me an intimidation check at advantage.
Oh no, I'm not so good at that. Oh no. Oh!
I mean, a natural 20 will do,
That's pretty good.
Yay!
You turn into a cat and just... And all the rats just leave. So you guys are annoyed, like you've flown over the top and you watch as the rats part like the Red Sea for the cat.
I turn to Buttons and I'm like, does she always play you up like this as well?
Only on special occasions.
Oh, I see.
Pip, there is currently a very quickly closing line of rats. What would you like to do?
Run.
You follow the cat, you
Yes.
make it inside. You realise that Lord King Rat was making a show of force by having the front of the palace covered in rats. The inside is suspiciously devoid of rats. What would you like to do?
I cast detect, oh no, whatever it is. My divine sense, there we go.
Whatever it is.
Detect
I was
the
like-
next out of the thing.
No!
I can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn, can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
So unfortunately, being rats, there are none of those things, but I'm going
The
to
king
say
rat
you'd
might-
get a distinct sense of evil coming from the throne room.
He's in the throne room!
To the throne room.
To the throne room!
Well,
There's too many arms in there! The throne room!
About 10 paces behind.
Keep up, Pip! You have to
Do you
take
guys
my
rush
good
the throne
side.
room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rush towards the final conflict.
Yes, I imagine Jason Statham slams the doors open.
Yep.
Sorry, Buttons slams the doors open.
Yeah.
Inside you see more rats. Seated on the throne is a dishevelled, ugly figure, long pointed nose, almost bristly whisker-like mustache, hunched in a cloak of black like midnight and covered in filth. And he... I see you were too late to foil my plans. And he points to the ceiling where in a cage is the king. I appear to have got myself in a spot of bother. Daughter, there you are. You found her. Excellent. Can't really have the wedding until this is all sorted, but good job. Well done, everyone. Shut up, you! Now, with the king captured and the princess here to be my wife, I will be the true Lord King Rat of the kingdom.
That really is very misogynistic of you to assume she's going to accept your hand in marriage. Am I?
That's it, guys. Thanks so much.
I don't think I've ever seen someone win D&D before.
That's all, folks. Everyone go home. Right now.
So Jason Statham would like to take his top off and punch the rat.
Wait for it. So those listening at home, Richard has taken off his top to reveal glistening abs. And pecs you could break things with. I'm not very good at describing muscles.
I'd like to break the rat's face with my pecs. Does that count as an unarmed strike?
You rush towards the Lord King Rat. Unfortunately, from the shadows in the recesses of the room, a swarm of rats attack.
Oh, what? I'll punch the rats, I guess.
Give me an attack roll.
So that's 16.
16 is enough to hit the rats.
Okay, that's the first hit. How many hits is these rats going to take?
A lot.
Okay, I'd like to use a flurry of blows to punch the rat 2 more times.
Excellent, you can punch more rats.
Okay, that's 24 and an 11.
An 11. So all hits, because they're rats.
Okay.
Again, you do not have to roll damage, they have 1 hit point. You explode several more rats, but
Okay.
they are very quickly replaced by more that just swarm the room from the shadows. What would the rest of you like to do?
Beginning to get the feeling punching more rats may not be the answer.
I've got this, guys! Princess, what would you like to do?
I would like to approach the throne, and I would like to say, "Oh dear ratty friend, you
As
seem,
Lord King Rat and husband to you.
I think you seem to be in a little bit of a grumpy mood, and I think maybe, you know, you've had some tough times, and we'd all be very happy to talk to you and listen and try and help you feel better."
Yes.
My mouse is attacking buttons. They love it. It's a plaything they do.
It's the muscles, they are intimidating in the flesh.
and I would like to cast Animal Friendship on King Rat. Ooh. At 3rd level.
Ooh. So, we're going to make a roll for this, because depending on the roll, I'm going to reveal something. But give me, we'll just say an Arcana check, or whatever your spellcasting skill is, just roll that like it's a spell attack.
What's the spellcaster for a druid, anyone?
Wisdom.
Wisdom! Do I have that? One hopes so. That is a 19.
Ooh. You realise that Lord King Rat is just a particularly ugly man. So, the good news is that as you attempt to cast Animal Friendship, he says, "Did you just try to cast Animal Friendship on me? Do I really look that horrific? Oh, God!" And has a bit of a breakdown.
You are called Lord King Rat, so one would assume.
But I'm still a man!
You have to appreciate what people want to identify as.
Yes, I'm a man!
I'd really look at rebranding, to be honest.
But rats are just my thing! And he has a bit of a breakdown. What would the rest of you like to do while that's happening?
Punch some more rats.
You're still punching rats.
Yep,
We're taking
okay.
that as a given. What would you two like to do?
I will walk up next to Buttons and I'll look over my shoulder at the princess and I'll go, "You have this. This is your fight." And I'll just start.
He insults a rat. I'm sorry, insults a man
Also-
calling him a rat.
But I have a sword, so I will be stabbing the rats instead.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay. Why am I doing 2 dice? That's not a thing. It could be. I'm not going to risk it after last time. Maybe I should. It's an 18.
18 is enough to hit a rat. You
Yeah.
begin skewering rats on the end of your sword, making a little rat shish kebab.
Could I Divine Smite to get many rats?
Yes, why not?
Yes, I will do that then. I'll use my other 2nd level spell slot. Why not? So it would be deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target plus 1d8 for every spell height. So 3d8 damage.
Which type of smite is it you're using?
It's my Divine Smite, so
Just Divine Smite.
I just use a spell slot
So,
to do it.
I wouldn't bother rolling damage. It's a
No.
lot of damage regardless.
Yeah.
What does your Divine Smite look like as you cast it?
As I cast it, there's like a silver light that emits from the sword, so that it is all completely lit up and looking relatively physically impossible, a la perhaps a saber of light. And I will like use it to cleave through the
sweeping through the
swaths of
rats.
Quite methodically in the end, I'm like, you know what? I'm very dirty. I don't need my glory today. I'm just gonna hoover up these rats.
Just walking along, just very gently sweeping them through the rats. Lord King Rat looks on amidst tears welling up in his eyes. He goes, "I don't know why I thought rats would be a good idea, but I'm here now." And Pip, what would you like to do?
Seeing this chaos ensue, I will pull the lamp back out of my bag. The lamp.
A genie appears. Stealing something directly from Disney in the midst of having a bath. There's tile. Yes, how can I help? I'm dreadfully sorry about what happened
Let's
earlier.
cut to brass tacks. How does this work? Is it 3 up front? And I can't wish for more wishes, right?
I mean, you get 1, and I decide whether or not you actually get it, but, you know, that's how it works.
Seems fair.
Look, would you rather I just transported you into the middle of the ocean?
I'd still like a wish, please.
Let's get this on. I'm in the middle of a bath.
So, I wish that the good Lord King Rat is turned into a actual good-looking human being.
I think you say
sees the error of his ways, releases the king, and goes.
I mean, that is quite a lot, but we are almost out of time. So, here we go. Boo! Lord King Rat, suddenly the most handsome man you've ever met.
Yeah, you see, 2 things.
Even more handsome than the prince.
Then that's impossible.
Oh no!
Oh yes, he is. Oh, fine, he isn't. He's very good looking, but not quite as good looking as the prince.
Damn it!
All of the rats, now realizing that their king is not rat-like anymore, don't really want to follow him and just sort of leave. The king is eventually winched down. For some reason, he had a winch in place. Maybe it was a chandelier, who knows. Odd position, though. The king is lifted down. He's like, oh, thank you all, and thank you so much for finding the princess. I was dreadfully worried what had happened. Dear, where have you been?
Hello. I'm here still. I have something to ask Prince Randolph.
You do?
You know what you said about just not assuming that I would want to marry you? I mean,
Well, yes.
him, but you as well,
Yes,
right?
I do see the logical consistency in that statement.
Previously seemed to assume that I would want to marry you.
Well, yes.
Yes. Well, I don't.
Jason,
yes, you know.
Jason steps forward confidently.
I just put a hand on him, I push him to the side, and I go,
I'm sorry. I don't want to marry anyone, you see.
All right.
the thing is, Princess,
Yes.
I'm not sure I want to marry you either.
Pip is dancing.
Jason, this is your chance.
What if it were revealed that I was secretly a prince all along? Would you want to marry me then?
Are you?
I mean,
Say it.
yes.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, no, you're not.
Look, I acted through the whole of In the Name of a King, a Dungeon Siege tale, and it turns out Jason Statham's characters in fantasy movies are actually royal.
Unfortunately for Jason Statham, this isn't a movie.
You didn't read the script, did you?
Oh, now I need a word with my agent about this. So I'm not royal.
No, unfortunately not.
What if I'm not royal, but I still want to marry the princess?
That's entirely up to the princess.
Maybe, would you like to just be the princess?
Sure. I haven't got anything going on in this Buttons character.
Daddy, I've solved it. Buttons is going to be the princess now.
How about it then?
No offence, but I don't want to marry you either. I don't think I want to marry anyone.
Right? Right! Should we not marry anyone together?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, hang on. Hang on, no, I'm royal now, so I'll take it. Yeah, it's fine.
The scene pans out, no longer a wedding to celebrate, but instead a coronation of Princess Jason Statham Buttons.
Secretly a Princess Buttons.
Secretly a princess. The kingdom rejoices with their new princess. Now all they have to do is find a prince who is willing to marry them. But that is a problem for another day. So, once again, I guess that's the end of our show. But how it all turned out, I couldn't possibly know. I'm writing this poem before the story even begins, so for all I know, this year it was the villain that wins. However, the chances of that are quite slim. Everyone knows it's the heroes who will win, because this is a panto after all, and hey, as the DM, it's really my call. But I imagine our heroes all did admirably, and kicked evil's butts, probably quite literally. So one more time, let's all raise a cheer, loud enough for those outside to hear. To our heroes here who have saved the day, and ultimately will have made the villains pay. So next time, maybe they'll think twice, but I doubt it, given it's already happened thrice. But once more, our story must come to an end, so to all of you, our thanks we extend for coming to see this silly little show. What it means to all of us, you'll truly never know. So that's all that's left from us here, is a message of joy and holiday cheer. To each of you and your loved ones, both far and near.
Merry Christmas to all, and a Happy New Year!
So, I do have one very special thank you to a member of the audience. We weren't 100% sure if Richard was going to make it this year, so we actually have an understudy hiding there with his mask on. So thank you so much, Sam, for being willing to step in. We're glad you still came to see the show, even if you weren't involved in it. So thank you very much, Sam.
Thanks,
so check out Sam's Science and Sorcery. Check them out. They aren't up on here to promote themselves, so I'm going to do it for him. So thank you very much. And once again, we'll go down the line and introduce all of our cast here and talk about where they're from, starting with Richard, aka Jason Statham,
I'm
aka
Jason Statham.
Always a Princess.
I'm Richard from the D20 Future Show, available on all good, neutral, and evil podcast platforms.
Lovely.
I
Shamini?
am Shamini from RP Geeks. That's at RP Geeks D&D in various places on the internet.
I'm Chloe from Deck of Many Aces. You can find at Deck of Many Aces pretty much everywhere. And A Rendezvous with Destiny, which is at RWD_pod. And you can find everything that I do at Chloe_with_the_flow.
And I'm Dan. I'm the Dungeon Master for Tales on Tap, and I also do some professional GMing for All Dark. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And once more, Jordan from Modified Rule. Yeah, you can find all of us at Modified Rule everywhere. I do have my own handle, but I don't really post a lot of stuff except the things I cook. So if you like food, I'm at Wish I Was a Bard. But otherwise, again, thank all of you guys for coming to see this. Thank you again to the Podcastzone for letting us do this for the 3rd year in a row. And thank you to Dragonmeet for having us. But that's all we have today. So thanks very much, and we'll see you again next year. God, it's warm in here.
Well, that's us for another year. We hope you enjoyed this recording of our live show from Dragonmeet. And just one more time, I want to shout out a massive thank you to Richard of the D20 Future Show, who was playing Jason Statham, playing Buttons, Shamini of RP Geeks, playing the Princess, Chloe of Deck of Many Aces, playing the Prince, and Dan of Tales on Tap and Dice by the Sword, playing the Prince's assistant. And of course, Sam, our understudy from Science and Sorcery. And finally, one more time, a massive thank you to Fiona from DM's Book Club and What Am I Rolling for helping to organise the Podcastzone and make these live shows happen. Hope you guys had just even half as much fun listening as we did recording this. It was such a good time, and I enjoy doing these every year, and hopefully we'll be allowed back next year. This will be our last release until the new year, where we will be picking up again with our guest episodes. So you can look forward to that in January. Our one final request for Christmas, and this is a little Christmas present you can give to us. If you haven't checked out our new network, Podderation, that we have joined, please do look them up. They are active on various social media platforms. You check them on Instagram, Blue Sky, all the other ones. There are some other amazing shows on there, but also they are doing sort of, it's kind of what we've been doing since our inception, which is recommending other shows that you can go and check out. So it would mean a lot to us if you can go and look them up. But other than that, I hope all of you listening have a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, or whatever it is you celebrate. We'll see you all back in the new year. But for now, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Hey there, I'm Hugh from Podderation. If you liked today's episode, why not check out Tartan Tabletop, a D&D show as Scottish as it sounds. I won't terrify you with my attempt at a Scottish accent, but I can assure you that Tartan Tabletop is some of the funniest tabletop content you will hear all year. Find it wherever you get your podcast.